And he's invented something really cool. He's invented an intelligent prosthetic arm, and it's a great party trick, but it's also really meaningful. And Dale, where is Dale? Dale, they've hold up your hand. Check that out. That is it in action. So he is a live example of this prosthetic. And, prosthetics are getting better, but now it's just getting interesting because now we have agentic prosthetics, and that's what he's invented here. So quickly, just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about you, and how did this come about?
So I'm Dr. Aadeel Akhtar. I'm the CEO and founder of Psyonic, and we develop advanced bionic limbs that are accessible for both humans and robots. I've wanted to do this ever since I was 7 years old. My parents are from Pakistan, and I was visiting when I was 7, and that was the first time I met someone missing a limb. She was my age, missing her right leg, using a tree branch as a crutch, and that's what inspired me to go into this field. So I got a bachelor's degree in biology from Loyola, Chicago, a master's in computer science there, taught there for a couple of years, then went to the University of Illinois, got another master's in electrical and computer engineering, PhD in neuroscience, and then I left medical school to do this because this was a lot more fun than medical school.
Let's give it up for that. That's pretty cool, right? And I said in my introduction today that one thing I love about today is we're talking about ways that AI is actually improving our lives, and this is such a great example. But we got to tell the Shark Tank story really quick because it's pretty cool. So building a company like this it's not cheap. It's not easy. You got to find the right people to get behind you. And he was invited to be on Shark Tank. And just tell us quickly, did you get a deal on Shark Tank?
I indeed did. It was a 3-shark deal.
He got a 3-shark deal on Shark Tank. If you've watched Shark Tank, that's actually pretty amazing. But actually, the story gets better. Because after the show, and on the show it looks like he got a 3-shark deal, great, walks off, a happy entrepreneur. But afterwards, then the real negotiation starts. And he realized that the investors weren't aligned fully with what he was really trying to do. And so what was the net of it?
Yeah, I ended up declining it. So
That's right.
And the thing is that we're in both the robotics and the healthcare space, right? And we bridge the gap between the two. And it's important for us that we do both because the reason why our hands work so well on robots is because our humans use them as well too. So we want to work with people who see both of those and can bring value to both of those sectors in particular. And what's cool is that AI actually bridges that gap because it serves both of those sectors equally.
I thought it was interesting. What a cool story that it's a lot of times we want to say yes to a lot of things, but we have to say no to certain things as well. And when something doesn't align with what we're trying to do, and there's not that perfect alignment, sometimes an investor isn't the right one. So I thought it was really fascinating story. So people that go watch the episode because it's pretty cool and to see him win, and that's awesome. But then now the backstory and you see where he's sitting today. But the future is bright. Have no fear. Tell us a little bit about what's changed in the year that we got to know each other between last year and this year. And not just at CES, but in the field that you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're seeing a huge boom on the robotics sector in particular, right? And physical AI is starting to become ubiquitous, right? So we're seeing these huge, the keynote yesterday with Boston Dynamics and Google DeepMind working together on and building these humanoid robots that are going to be deployed in industrial settings. That's happening more and more. There's more humanoid companies cropping up every single day. And dexterity is the biggest problem. You can get your robot from point A to point B, but if it can't do anything, then it's useless, right? And that's where we come in because our human users have been able to do almost everything that the robots are trying to do, and we want to transfer that knowledge from our human users to the robots so that they have the AI then to do those tasks.
Very cool. I love that. That transformation of robotics to something that is integrated with the human, and then back to the robot, right? So what? Tell us a little bit about Psyonic as a company. Where you headquartered? A little bit about the team, and what are the big plans that you have for 2026?
Absolutely. So we're located in San Diego, California, and so it's a big biotech hub there. We're working with the Navy Hospital on the next generation of these bionic devices. So we just got a grant from the Department of Defense to develop microwire electrodes that you can implant in your nerves directly to enable individual finger control. And then when you touch the fingers, you can actually stimulate the nerves and then make it feel like it's coming from your missing hand. And then we grew to about 50 people now, and we moved to a facility that's like 22,000 square feet. It's 5 times bigger than like the previous space we had. So we're scaling. We're getting these hands out there to both humans and robots all around the world. And just recently, we started a partnership with Universal Robots, so you can go check out their booth and see our hands on their robot arms out on the floor over here, as well as a collaboration with NVIDIA on doing that human-to-robot transfer learning. So this upcoming year, you're going to see a lot more happening on that transfer from our human users to the robots.
Very cool. I think one thing that's interesting about your product is, of course, we see Dale, your first early adopter, if you will, but also that your hands are fit other robots. So like that's one big thing about robotics is being able to have that dexterity to pick things up. So you're actually an embedded product with other robotic companies.
Absolutely, and it's the same hand, the exact same hand that goes on humans that goes on robots. And we actually went to NASA a couple years ago in Houston, where they have our hand on their humanoid astronaut robot Valkyrie, and we brought some of our users down as well. And it was cool because we took pictures of it fist bumping with the same hands. But they had this panel of buttons and knobs and switches that you'd find on the International Space Station, and they were struggling to get the humanoid robot Valkyrie to manipulate a zipper that was on the wall. And one of our human users, she went up to it and she easily did it with her bionic hand, which is the same hand. And the NASA engineers are like, oh, we didn't even think about using it in that way. And that's exactly the point that we're making. Our human users are the experts. They've adapted, they've optimized how to figure out how to do all these different tasks in the home, from like folding laundry to washing dishes to like industrial tasks like pick and place to moving boxes on shelves. And because of that, they know how to teach the robots how to do all these tasks in ways that normal, non-prosthetic users wouldn't know how to do.
I have an interesting testimonial about this man. I was actually I'm a musician as well. I was playing a retirement party a couple months ago in Arlington, Virginia. And the son of the woman that was retiring, he had a parkour accident in Germany and had become paralyzed and lost one of his limbs. And I noticed that he had this prosthetic limb. It wasn't Adeel's limb, but I said, hey, you know what? I got to meet the guy that's created this really cool robotic limb, and I'm happy to put you in touch. And they're like, is it Aadeel? And I was like, yeah, it's Aadeel. They're like, we know him. We have a picture with him. He's like our hero. So it's just really cool that you're having an impact, a real impact on people that, I just happen to randomly have met this young man, and he knew about you. So it says a lot about what you're doing, the evangelism that you're doing out there for folks that that need a prosthetic. We have all seen this is a space that does need a lot of innovation and a lot of human innovation, and it's just wonderful. So where does this go from here? The hand is really the thing. This arm is really the thing that you're known for. But do you have other plans for other prosthetics or other things that are what's in the works?
Absolutely. So we've got very early prototypes of a wrist and an elbow, in addition to a knee and an ankle as well too. So full arms, full legs, and then really where we're going with this is the seamless integration between the human body and robotic devices, right? And so with that, with the implanted electrodes that we're developing, we want the seamless control where you can do like very dexterous movement, but in the lower limb that you'd actually be able to do a triathlon, run, bike, and swim
Wow.
with a prosthetic leg. So that's what we see in the next 5 years happening.
That's really cool. All right, so is there anything that you're noticing about CES this year that strikes you? Anything unusual? I know it's first day, so we probably haven't had time to look around. But any first thoughts with regards to robotics or prosthetics?
There are way more robots this year,
Yes.
which is so exciting to see, and it's exciting to see it to penetrate the consumer level as
Right.
well too, right? Because typically robotics have been confined to like industrial use cases, except for maybe like the Roomba, right, which is the home robot. But now with things like 1X's humanoid robot going to be deployed in homes in the next couple of years, and all these other robots that we're seeing from like a lot of the Chinese companies as well too, like Unitree and Booster, etc. It's really exciting to see that that they're getting robotics is getting a spotlight, especially because it's been driven so much by all the advancements in AI that's been happening.
That's awesome. So Aadeel, thank you so much for having this opportunity to sit down with us. Let's give it up for Aadeel Akhtar. This is the kind of innovation that I love to see here at CES. I feel so blessed to meet folks like Aadeel, and I think there's going to be a very bright future ahead. And we're going to have you back here at the next CES and see that other limb that you've developed in action. So Aadeel, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you.